Okay, so for the first set of revision question, there are two questions here. Okay, for a 1 hour exam. Question 1A, case static dynamic page. And then this one is about the .NET framework, the CIL and CLR. Okay, question C is about this particular template. So what's the benefits? So you imagine all this, for the seniors, they need to memorize all this. Okay, for the 1 hour exam. This one is about the sitemap. And for the second question, about database programming, what are the main issues? One of it is choosing the correct data type. Okay, and then B, it's about the membership management service, the difference between authorization and authentication. Please confirm what does contrast means. Okay, some question require students to discuss about the similarities only. Some question ask students to discuss about not only the similarities, but then the differences as well. Okay, so check what are the verb. Okay, the verb of the question. C is about state management. Okay, the server side. We have the session and application using session and application variable. And then we also have caching. There's a difference between a whole page caching, which is input caching, and a partial page caching, which is fragment caching. And then, okay, this is nice to see. I guess the questions added into our slides, those were the past year exam question. What's the similarities and differences between a user control and master page? And when should the user control be used instead of master page? Okay. And then for the next question, previously, those students who opt for double degree, meaning including the bachelor degree from Campbell University, they need to attend 2 exams. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so for the degree, 2 questions. Look at this set for university. So first question about the events. Okay. And this which set is better to be used compared to total reader. This one is from chapter 4. So I believe it's like if I'm not mistaken, from the seniors who came back from their studies and visited us here, and the lecturers, they mentioned that students will take both double degree, right? They have to take 2 exams. So basically it's like the first part, half of the chapter will be covered for the Chinese exam, and then another half will be covered for the Campbell exam. Okay. Alright, so this is the injection attack. Right, and look at question number 2. Validation of the date fields, such as appropriate validation controls. Interesting. Okay. And then uh, Visual Basic programming, it is useful. I guess previously they also learned Visual Basic. So for us, it's C sharp programming, yeah. Yes, we also covered the four common types of errors. So this time you need not only a contrast, but you have to compare. Okay, and question 3 here. Predict one runtime that can be uses, such as a method to handle that. Okay. In this question, so I guess there's some kind of overlapping as well. Okay, so those are the two questions that we will use to get prepared the here. Step one. And then this is for the set two. Okay, so that we can cover more questions. So you will contribute to the answers. All right, so the Google Docs are ready. Okay, and then now let me use a breakout room. See how it will generate the breakout room. Give me a moment. Okay, give me some time to prepare the breakout room. One moment, yeah. Okay, so there are only, let me see, 12 students. So it means 4 rooms, 3 students in the room lah. Okay, so take note on you are in which breakout room, and then discuss the questions with you. Okay, so are you ready? Shall I open the rooms now? Okay, in that case, then I'll open the room, yeah? See you guys in 30 minutes.
So this is for the set.
Then can you increase the Zoom 100% to 150%? Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is for the set one. WAD Past Year Question. For the question one, they say that web page come in variety of different pages, different shapes and size, but one way they can be divided is between static page and dynamic page. Discuss what are they and which is better. Which the question asks is what is dynamic static and dynamic page. So they will ask which is better, which they ask the opinion, which which both of the pages are better. So this is the answer for the static and dynamic page. For the static page, they say that it's a static page will remain the same for the time unless someone change it manually, which mean was if you want to if you already oh yeah it will it will say that if this for static page it say that the content will be remain the same until someone change it manually, which the user for the user if they want to change the content they have to go through the code itself to manually change. So it will update the pages. It does not use database. Page loading time is shorter. For dynamic pages are behavior and have the capacity to produce distinctive content for different visitor. Does use database page loading time is longer. For my opinion, dynamic page are better than static page because they have the capability to let user set up and update the pages without going through the codes of the page to manually change the content of the pages. For the for B.NET .NET Framework is using the question
Okay,
asked.
let me see the answers. At marks, right. The first part is you need to discuss what are they. So meaning 2 marks for static page and another 2 mark for dynamic page. This is to explain what they are. All right. Basically, I can see the answer already. Static page, the content is always the same. Yep. I can see number 1 there. So that one is 2 marks. Dynamic web page. The appearance is generated dynamically at runtime, meaning contents are not always the same. Okay. Look at your how you describe static page and dynamic page. Number 1, it should be apple to apple. So if you are talking about static web pages, the contents remain the same. Then a dynamic page, then you need to show why is it dynamic, because the content it is not the same because it is generated dynamically. Okay, so please add in the comment from me. Okay, so 2 marks there. Which one is better? Which one is better? That one is 4 marks. Okay, another 4 marks. But then the 4 marks that you give me for my opinion, dynamic pages are better. Let user to set up and update the page. We don't talk about letting user to set up and update the page. Not in that kind of view.
So need to check. So wrong, technically. Even the description, the describe.
So the first one is static page. It doesn't change. Okay, remain the same. Dynamic page. How about dynamic page?
It will, yeah, it will generate randomly. Randomly. Based on the visitor itself, based on the user itself.
Who's the group member for group 1?
Jeremiah, Jerry Vincent.
Can anything to add? Or did you create your own Google Doc? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder it's totally empty here. I cannot
much
even go in.
much more easy before we add the answer, the correct answer put inside it. So
I can see that no one updated the Google Docs. Both are empty. I thought I can go in and like put my comment there. All are empty.
Miss, your
If we
Miss, your
share
Google
the
Doc,
file.
Google Doc, Miss, you didn't pause. You just pause for us one by one only. One person, one Google Doc.
In the Google Classroom under revision. Okay. Someone need to type in. Okay. First of all, what are static page? Okay, this web page content is always the same, remain the same. Okay, you got that one correct already. Can you do something like highlight that one is correct, and then do some correction? Otherwise, then you all will not remember anything. Who's inside the document?
Jeremiah.
Okay, Jeremiah. Highlight will remain the same. Static web pages will remain the same. Okay. So I only highlight the important ones. Okay, so that one would be basically the keywords to explain static page, 2 marks. And then dynamic page. How about dynamic page? What's the what does behavioral means? Okay, how about just highlight distinctive content? Distinctive content, highlight that one. Okay, and then can you add in, type this in red color. Okay, distinctive content means contents are not always the same. Okay, and then you can add on it is generated dynamically at runtime. Continue from just now. No. Content are not always the same. Okay, comma. It is generated dynamically at runtime. Red color also. Highlight. So you all can see how you're supposed to discuss these two web pages. So it's always like if you want to talk about the contents, okay, the contents of the web pages is very clear now. Static page remain the same. Dynamic page not always the same. Why? Generated dynamically at runtime. So 2 marks, 4 marks. Now go to the next 4 marks, which is which one is better? Okay, so if you want to say dynamic pages are better, then what I see in the table is loading time is longer. So people say, oh, loading time is longer. Okay, this is not a good option. Okay, so can you highlight for my opinion? Okay, change it to highlight everything, strike through. You can go to format text and select strike through. Okay, so meaning missing the 4 marks there lah. Okay, continue with question B.
Question B, it asks, .NET Framework is using two-step. It stated .NET Framework is using two-step process for compilation, namely command intermediate language, or you can short form for CIL, and common language runtime, or CLR. It say that CIL and CLR together enable the structure optimization of pre-compiled code along with the probability of interpreted code. So justify this statement, which they ask justify about CIL and CLR together enable the structural optimization of pre-compiled code along with the probability of interpreted code. So our answer, we say that based on the statement above, CIL and CLR are enabled to structure compile codes and convert them into machine language, whereas it provides the probability to translate a run through of the program line by line and execute each command, which allow user to identify any mistake when there is error with the code. For this reason, it allow user to have access in all completed language freely within application by allowing multiple users to collaborate on the same website with different language.
Okay, so for this question, the keyword is justify this statement. Which one is the statement? Can you highlight the statement? Which statement you need to justify? Yes, correct. Highlight that one. Okay, so this is the statement that you need to justify. So let me give you how the marking scheme looks like. Here, if you good explanation justifying the statement, 5 marks. Can you type that down? Five marks. Average, if it's average, then it's 3 to 4. Okay, and then poor is 1 to 2 marks. Okay, I'll put a different color lah, so that we know that that is a comment. So over here, it depends on the student's capability of justifying the statement. Okay, I'll continue with C.
So the C said, this is the C and C question. They ask, A provides a template for other pages which share layout and functionality. So the number one, 2 marks, identify the A. What is A? What is A? Provide a template for other pages which share layout and functionality. So our answer will be, we answer it, master page. The master page
Okay,
define
good. Highlight master page with blue color. So that's the correct answer, yeah. Identify it. So get ready. Proceed to the next one.
Okay, the number 2. They ask about the question above. Discuss the benefit of using A in ASP.NET web application. So they are asking about what is the benefit of using master page in ASP.NET web application. So we answer our answer. The benefit of using a master page is to allow the developer to centralize common functionality of the page so that they can make an update in just one place. Secondly, it is easy to create one set of control and code and apply the result to a set of pages. Another benefit is it enables the developer to control over the layout of the final page by allowing them to control how the placeholder holders are rendered. Lastly, it provides an object model that allows the developer to customize the master page from individual content page.
Here, I refer to the marking scheme. It's 2 marks each for the benefits. So this is quite a vague question, right? Discuss the benefits 4 marks. So we do not know whether we should give like 4 benefits. But then the keyword is discuss. Can you highlight the word discuss? So discuss 4 marks. So the best bet would be you give 2 points and discuss the 2 benefits. Okay, if you give like 4 benefits without a discussion, then it doesn't fulfill the keyword discuss. Okay, so let me see whether you all have the point or not. The second one, easy to create. That's one of the benefits. Okay, another one is easy to maintain. Jeremiah, can you type in the 2 main points? Easy to create, and the second one is easy to maintain. So it depends on how you discuss these 2 main benefits. Okay, so easy to create, you can highlight that one. So meaning I can see there's an answer in your, okay, easy to create. And then in terms of easy to maintain, or the previous sentence, make update in just one place. So I would say that one is talking about easy maintenance. Can you see? Yep. Thanks. Okay, continue with the next one.
Oh, okay. This is the last one for question D. For question 1. So this is the D. Its statement in designing a web application orientation information, navigation bar, and sitemap should be provided to increase the likelihood that the person will find what they are looking for at a site. So the D1, it asks define sitemap. So our answer will be sitemap is an overview of the pages within our website, which is a list of pages of a website accessible to web crawler or user.
Okay, good. That one would be 2 marks. Continue.
So for question D2, it asks discuss how a web.sitemap increases the usability and the accessibility of a web application. So our answer will be by providing user the path to jump into another previous pages which is listed in the sitemap without repeating their action or additional steps to reach their intended page. In fact, sitemap also allow user to recall the pages which they have selected. For this reason, sitemap enable user to reduce short-term memory load.
Unfortunately, this one is 0 marks. The question did not ask you all to explain the sitemap, but can we see the question? Web.sitemap. Highlight that one. Web.sitemap. Yes. Basically, you need to explain how we use web.sitemap. So what we know about a web.sitemap, it is an XML file, right, for our ASP.NET. So you need to talk about how do you use that particular web.sitemap. Like you can set the title, the URL, the description, okay, in that particular file. Okay, and then to show the structure of the website, there are several options like there's a menu, tree view, sitemap path, and so on. So those are the things that you need to explain. So perhaps you can add in a comment there, explain the ASP.NET XML file web.sitemap. Okay, so my advice would be you need to go back and see our slide and also see our practical, all right? Because what do we put in our web.sitemap? Okay, we set the title, URL, description, right? And then we can select whether we want to display a standard site navigation menu or multi-level navigation menu, or even a trail or navigation path to the current page. It's like the sitemap path, the clickable links to previous pages. So talk about that, you get 4 marks, right? And do you notice how the 1 hour exam requires seniors to really memorize things, right? Okay, so your FOA will be an open book question. Okay, thank you, group 1. Let's get the second group to present the answers.
Okay, Miss. I will share. Or Miss, you can access to my doc. We do it on my doc.
Can you all instead put a link
Oh, sure. Hold on.
in the, I mean, in the in my empty Google Docs?
Put the link.
I wonder why you are not like typing your answer into the Google Docs.
No, I mean this is the one you uploaded video inside, but inside my doc.
I didn't
Miss,
put it
Miss,
out.
you didn't put
Jonathan,
Got
or the other.
other. This is the one that you should.
Got the global one, yeah? You only gave us personal one, I think.
We did in our in my personal doc.
Yeah, teacher didn't give us the like the one big one for us, all of us that edit.
That one is supposed to be all can access, right?
No, we only get personal. We cannot access. Okay, we all do our own. You gave mistake. That one's not everyone. Yeah,
Okay. How should I change this?
you can just post the one in the Google Classroom there, and then allow
Oh,
everyone to.
Can it's already been posted. Hang on. Yeah, each student will get a copy. Ayo. Yeah. I cannot delete it already. How do I fix this?
Just
Perhaps.
Means you just
post in
create a new one, and then we
classroom.
paste our answers inside.
Yeah.
Okay. I do it now. Thank
Okay.
you. Sekejap. No wonder. Oh, it's an individual pula.
Yeah.
Now I understand. Thank you so much. 2015 set one answers. Okay, 2015, 16 set one answers. Okay, paham. Okay, and then one more. What set two? Sekejap, yeah. Right, this one is for set two. Okay. Is it there? Student can view file, change it to students can edit. Student can edit. Click save. Yeah. So can you afterwards or perhaps put it in?
Oh, I put it now.
Now, okay, thanks. Thank you so much.
Okay. Right. Set one.
Okay, is it ended? Okay, good. Continue, Jonathan.
Okay. So our group consists of myself, Evan, and Wong. So we separate our tasks. So I will be doing A and B, and then
Before you continue, can you put your group members' name in that question?
here.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So
Those the groups. Okay, Jonathan, continue.
okay. So the first question is asking us to I'll discuss the importance of the correct data type and how does it affect functionality of database. So my answer is because each data type has an allocated storage base and has different properties and characteristics. So let's say if the data type is too large, so let's say you want to store tiny int data, but you allocate it with a big int data type, the space will be wasted because the big int data type will require more space than tiny int. So if you only allocate the value which are very small, it's not the space will be wasted if you put into a bigger storage like that. While if the data type is too small, then the allocated space will be not enough, and the artificial ceiling will occur. That would be for the allocated storage space point. The other point will be the properties. So let's say if the data type chosen is appropriate or incorrect, then if let's say you want to like generate a report or something like that, or you want to store some variables, then you have to constantly convert the data type at the code there. Other than that, this data stored inside, if you store it incorrectly or with inappropriate data type, the data might not function or be stored as intended. So for example, let's say you want to store a data type like a price, which is double. If you store it inside an integer gun, it will not store the decimal numbers, so it won't be like as accurate or like intended to be stored inside. So let's say you want to have a price card, you want to store let's say it has 99 cents, but if you use integer, it will not store the 99.99 value. It will only store the front numbers. So yeah, basically that's the answer.
Okay, excellent. Let me find where I can give marks. Okay, the first paragraph, the second sentence. Okay, you can highlight that one. Yes, allocated storage space, and also, yep. So that one has marks. And then you also talk about waste space if it's too large. And then, okay, that one is another point. Then too small, then artificial ceiling, that's another point. Very good. You can highlight that one also. Waste space, that is one point. Okay, artificial ceiling is another point. And then one more is a data type conversion. Conversion of data type. Yeah, the next paragraph. Conversion of data type. First sentence. Conversion of data type is another point. And reporting function difficult. Third line in the last paragraph. Reporting difficult. Yes. Okay. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. So 5 marks. Continue.
All right. So I'll be discussing the question B also. So question B asks us to compare and contrast what is authentication and authorization with examples. So my answer, I will do authentication first. So authentication is to verify the identity of the user through methods such as 2FA, passwords, PIN codes, and many more. So for this example, let's say you want to perform online banking or fund transfer we need to enter the PIN code that we receive from our phone number SMS. This is to authenticate the user that the system wants to confirm that the process is done by the user and not like some malicious users or like other users. So this one is to protect and verify the identity of the user before the function is performed to prevent any fund loss ataupun like kena hack that's for the authentication. Authorization is used to determine and assign what activities can the user do. So for example, if we log into our task intranet as a student, it will grant us the privileges of a student and access what are the web pages and sections that are authorized to us as students. While let's say you log in as a lecturer, it will grant you access of more functionalities and different web pages. You can do something like class management, you can authorize students leave, and many more functions that the student cannot perform. So this is for the authorization.
Okay, so the one that you highlighted would be the 1 mark. Okay, 1 mark each. Authentication verifies who you are, and authorization verifies what we are authorized to do. Okay, and then 2 marks for the examples. So I can see that there are examples given also. All right, so the examples would be 2 marks each. Okay, excellent. Next question.
I'll pass to Wong.
For the session variable is used to store objects in each session, which is created when you start browsing on a browser, whereas it ends at the moment you close the browser, but it's limited to only one particular user. For instance, a session variable is used most of the time for storing the user ID when a user is authenticated. Whereas for application variables, they are used to store objects, but it can be accessed globally by all users. of that application and not limited to one particular user. For instance, the count of users visiting that particular browser can be obtained as application variables can be accessed by every user on that browser, on that particular browser. And next.
Hang on. Okay. Session variable. Store objects in each session which is created when you start browsing. Okay, can you highlight that part?
This part.
Yes, highlight. And then can you type in a bracket user specific information. Okay, all right. And then user specific information, can you make it red color?
Oh.
Okay. Just the text. Okay. So storing objects in each session, which is created when the visitors start browsing on a browser. So we are storing user specific info. Okay. So example that you put there is storing the user ID. So can you bold that storing the user ID? Okay, so I want to make clear to everyone what the session variable, what kind of value we store inside the variable. And then for application variable, second paragraph, store objects can be accessed globally to all the users of that application. Okay, highlight that one.
Oops.
I cannot see.
The Control D.
Okay, and then inside the bracket is information that is global to the entire website. Yes, this one make it red color lah. Okay. And then let me see your example. Oh, count of users. Yes, count of users. You can make it bold. All right. Continue.
Okay, so for output caching, it allows every content of a page to be cached. It is used when every content of that page is affected. Whenever data is updated, for instance, the entire page changes based on the user's preferences. Whereas for fragment caching, it allows a specific content of that page to be cached and the others unaffected. It is used when the content of that particular page remains unaffected except for several items that are subject to changes. For example, only the navigation bars and headers change based on the authorized users' roles.
Okay, hang on. So for this output versus fragment caching, okay. Oh, what's the keyword there? Every content of the page will be cached. Okay, and for fragment caching, specific content on that page to be cached. Okay, proceed to the next question.
Hello. Can Miss hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so for D, right, the question asks for differences, similarities, and when to use the user control. So for the difference, right, for master page, it only provides the common content that should be applied to all pages in the site. So like for example, if we created a header, we can apply it to all the pages. And for user control, it intends for reusable content wrapping up small bundles of functionality that is to be reused on multiple pages. For similarity-wise, for master page and user control, both of them provide a common design which can be used in the ASPX pages, and it can pass data from master page or user control to ASPX or vice versa. So we will use user control instead of master page when the page is only required to use that specific function. So for my example here, like login, we are only required to use the login user control for the login page. Miss?
Yeah, I'm using my DG, so it's a bit slow. Am I lagging?
I think Miss muted
Okay.
just now.
For this particular question, in fact, I've asked you all in the class activity, right? Okay. This one looks good. Master page, common content to all pages in a site, user control, reusable content. Yes. Okay, good. I think that's the last one, is it?
Yeah, for set 1.
Yeah, correct. So thank you, group 2.
All right, thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Do we have time for the second question? Sambung saja lah, right? Okay. Group number 3. Who's going to present the answers? Okay, so Kelvin, can you change the zoom to 150%? Okay.
Oh, it is okay.
Yes.
Is this the right one? Here. Wrong one. Here. Yeah, the first question is identify the 3 major groups of event supported by ASP.NET. First one is HTML event, then second is ASP.NET page level event, and then ASP.NET server control event.
Good, 3 marks. Take note that this is only for face-to-face exam, not for the open book. Okay, next.
This one also, this one's the compare, contrast the server-side event and client-side event, and then give example for each. the client side run on the client side, and then server side run on the server side, and then client side rely on the browser support, and then server side event can work on all the browser since event handled by server. And then the client side event is handled by code that can only be written in Java, and then server side event can handle code that can be written in any language supported by .NET. The client side resources are restricted, and then server side is got more resource available. The client side got no security, and then the server side is more security for data. Yeah. Example for the client side events on submit event. When form is submit, and then the server side is the ASP.NET for clicking.
Can you scroll up? Okay, the question say the events. Okay, the keyword is we're talking about the events, yeah. All right. The SP, the server events and the server and the client side event, they are different. Highlight server side event.
Server side event.
Okay, highlight server side event. And then client side event. So basically, you need to talk about the what kind of a client side event that we normally do, and then what kind of server side event that we normally do. Over here, I think you guys are listing out the characteristics. So salah sudah. So I think you need to highlight row number 1 until except for the example. Make it red color.
This one red? Or
because these are characteristic. Red.
Cannot compare,
except
contrast.
for the example.
Cannot compress. Oh shit. I cannot compare and contrast the.
You focus on the events itself and not the characteristic.
But there's so many types of events.
For example, client side. Yeah, you need to talk about that.
How do I talk about
even in the question? Events raised by ASP.NET Server works differently than events in client-based web application. You talk about that. Okay, you talk about that. So client-side events to perform simple tasks. Okay, what are simple tasks? Like for visual effects or for input validations or a simple calculation. So as long as you talk about events that are simple, are considered simple and provides immediate response to the user, then you will get marks already. Okay. And then the example client-side event, it can be on mouse over, on click event.
How do you compare?
We talk more about the event. Okay. Events such as to perform simple tasks. That should be done in the client side. Simple tasks like visual effects, validation, calculation, events that provide, that we call to provide immediate response. Okay, so you need to focus on that one.
I don't understand the question.
So example would be on mouse over, on click. For server-side event, since server-side is more powerful, so it is used to perform complex tasks. Okay, so that's the difference between the client-side event. Client-side event, simple task. Okay, to perform simple tasks. Server-side to perform complex tasks. what kind of complex tasks? Form processing perhaps, or security, login and log out, database access. Okay, so since this one is more complex and it involves like traveling back and forth from the client and the server, it will take much longer time. So it will not provide a faster response compared to the client side event. Okay. So for the server side event, we use something like the page load event. Yeah. And then we have the button one click event if you have a button.
How?
Okay, I just can for the example, cancel the example. Just type this example. Client side event on mouse over. Client side event on mouse over. For example, change color of a button. So this is explaining about we use the client-side event to perform simple tasks. Okay, simple tasks that provide immediate response. You can see that one already, can. Okay, a simple task provide immediate response. So example of event on mouse over event. What kind of simple tasks that can provide immediate response? Change color of a button, something like that. So is everyone clear about that? We are actually talking about the event itself. For the server-side event, it is performing more complex tasks, so it has slower response.
On what? On server tasks?
The example of server-side event would be the button one underscore click. And then another example to make it more clear to you all, the page underscore load event. Okay, I think. Let me see. Do I have X?
The answer just need to give example or something. No need explain or something.
Oh, my DG is quite slow. Cannot access. It's okay. So the example you should put after the perform complex task. Can someone help him?
This only?
Because yeah. That one would be the examples. Okay. Okay. Perform complex tasks. Therefore, response is slower. Okay. So what can we do in a click of a button? To process a form. And then for a page load, perhaps to access database.
They ask only one
Something like
one
that.
example only for each event.
Yeah, I know. I give more examples so that everyone will be clear about that. I can give you another example for the client-side event. On-click event, for example, a pop-up confirmation dialog box. Add that one in.
Oh, where? Here?
Yeah, after that.
But how is this also 6 marks already? We just give this explanation. This
On-click
explanation
event, on-click event, on-click event, on-click event, pop-up confirmation dialog box. Okay, the on mouse over event. Okay, that one is on mouse over event.
like this can 6 marks. Like just write this and then just give one example each and then like this 6 marks.
Definitely no. I'm just giving you the main point. The main points. Okay, these are the main points. Can you make the last row red color? Okay, so let's go back to what you should be answering. Okay, you need to give examples. So as long as there's one example, all right. And then based on the event that you explained, a client-side event is used to perform simple tasks. Okay, and then it can provide immediate response. Example, on mouse over event. Okay, this is to perform simple tasks like change color of the button. So we can see the response immediately, the button color change. So that is a client-side event. Okay, you can see that already, kan? The on-click event, for example, pop-up confirmation dialog box. Pop-up confirmation dialog box, we get immediate responses. This is considered as simple task. That's why we make it as a server-side event using JavaScript. And then for the server side, we use server-side event to perform more complex tasks. Okay, since it is a more complex task, the response will be much more slower. Say you have a button in your form. Okay, you can have a button click event for the form processing. Form processing, there are a lot of things that you can process for a form. And then for a page load event, in the page load event, some of the things that you can, one of the things that you can do in a page load event is to access the database, or perhaps doing some login or logout. So now can you all see the difference between a client-side event and server-side event? Nampakkah? Or perhaps can you scroll up, highlight events raised by ASP.NET Server works differently. Highlight that one, the question. Or perhaps just highlight work differently lah. Okay, just highlight work differently. Highlight this one. They work differently. One is for simple tasks, one is for more complex tasks. And then you work your explanation based on that one. If you are able to give good explanation, 6 marks. So is it at least clearer to you now, Kelvin? How about the rest? Is it clear on answering this question? Okay, good. The time is already 11 a.m. Kelvin, can you type something below the table, KIV, so that we know where we stop? Okay, KIV. Continue from here. All right. So I think that's all for today. We continue with our revision next week. And then Friday's deadline for your assignment. Saturday afternoon would be your presentation, correct? So I'll see you all this Saturday then. Bye-bye. Welcome. Bye-bye.
Miss, can I continue ask about the user control?
Yes.
First I want to ask about the you said the Ruby part one, the 20 marks that one can. I want to